In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
I am Neska, and tonight we bring you the latest stories in the United States of America, especially in the state of Texas. So sit back, relax, and let Lawin Weekly News be your guide to the news that matters most. A measles outbreak that began in Texas has spread to several other states, marking the largest outbreak in the U.S. since the disease was declared eliminated in 2000. As of May 6, 2025, the Texas Department of State Health Services has confirmed 702 cases, primarily in West Texas counties. The outbreak has resulted in 91 hospitalizations and 2 deaths, both of which involved unvaccinated school-aged children. Less than 5% of those infected in Texas had received the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, reports that the total number of measles cases across the U.S. has surpassed 1,000 this year, with Texas being a major contributor. Measles symptoms typically appear 10 to 14 days after exposure and include high fever, cough, runny nose, inflamed eyes, and a red rash. Severe complications including pneumonia, brain swelling, and death can result from the disease. Health officials are continuing efforts to raise awareness about vaccination and reduce further transmission. A Texas Senate committee has advanced a bill that would end in-state tuition eligibility for undocumented students at public colleges and universities. Senate Bill 1798, approved by the Senate's K-16 Education Subcommittee, proposes requiring undocumented students to pay out of state tuition rates. The bill, if enacted, would reverse a law in place for more than 20 years that allows certain undocumented students to qualify for in-state rates if they meet specific criteria, such as graduating from a Texas high school and residing in the state for a set period. A related proposal, House Bill 232, is also under consideration in the Texas House of Representatives. It would require students to provide evidence of applying for permanent residency in order to qualify for in-state tuition. Texas is one of the states that currently allows undocumented students to pay in-state tuition under certain conditions. If enacted, the proposed legislation would represent a policy shift affecting students across the state's public higher education institutions. Houston Mayor John Whitmer introduced the city's proposed 2026 budget on Tuesday, outlining approximately $290 million in cuts while maintaining that city services will remain unaffected. The $3 billion general fund budget allocates nearly 60% to the police and fire departments. Mayor Whitmer emphasized that essential services, including public safety and core city operations, will be preserved despite reductions across various departments. The budget proposal will require approval from the City Council. City officials are expected to review the plan in the coming weeks, with public input to be gathered through scheduled community sessions. According to Houston Public Media, the proposal aims to balance fiscal responsibility with maintaining service quality. City leaders have stated that strategic planning has enabled cost reductions without diminishing service levels. The mayor's office has described the proposal as a reflection of the city's commitment to transparency, accountability, and efficient resource management. Houston area U.S. Representatives Lizzie Fletcher, Sylvia Garcia, and Al Green have sent a letter to federal authorities expressing concern over staffing vacancies at the National Weather Service or NWS office in Houston. Hurricane season is scheduled to begin on June 1. In the letter, the lawmakers referred to the situation as a staffing crisis and requested urgent attention to ensure the office is prepared for potential severe weather events. They noted that several key positions, including the meteorologist in charge, the warning coordination meteorologist, and the science and operations officer, are expected to become vacant. The representatives emphasized the importance of maintaining staffing levels to ensure the NWS can issue timely and accurate warnings during storms. They urged federal officials to outline steps for filling the vacancies and ensuring continued operations during the hurricane season. As of Tuesday, there has been no official response from federal agencies to the lawmakers' letter.
Hello po dyan sa mga taga-Texas. Nandyan po kami ni Desa sa June 14 at meron po kaming show sa Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center on June 14. So, nandyan po ang mga detalye below sa ating poster and I hope to see you soon, guys. See you sa June 14.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories. From elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits, I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
Governor Greg Abbott is scheduled to meet in Austin with bail reform advocates and families of crime victims as part of his push to change the state's bail laws. Under current Texas law, only capital murder suspects can be denied bail. Abbott is advocating for constitutional amendments that would allow courts to deny bail for other serious offenses unless certain criteria are met. He argues that reform is necessary to prevent repeat offenses by individuals released on low or no bond. Abbott's proposed changes are part of a broader criminal justice agenda that includes enhancing public safety and revising the bail system to limit pre-trial release in high-risk cases. The governor's office said the proposed reforms aim to balance public safety with due process while addressing gaps in the current system. Students and staff at Deer Creek Elementary School in the Crowley Independent School District are showing their support for teacher Mrs. McLaughlin, who is recovering from a stroke. Mrs. McLaughlin, a longtime educator at the school, is widely respected among colleagues and students. Last year, she received recognition for performing the Heimlich maneuver on a fourth-grade student during class, an action credited with saving the student's life. That student, Sarai, is among those participating in a school-wide show of support. Students, parents, and staff have organized initiatives including fundraising efforts, handwritten cards, and messages of encouragement for McLaughlin during her recovery. The school community has emphasized McLaughlin's impact on students and the role she has played in the educational environment at Deer Creek Elementary. District officials noted the support reflects the close-knit nature of the school and its commitment to its members. Crowley ISD continues to coordinate efforts to assist McLaughlin, underscoring the importance of our community's solidarity in times of need. A woman in San Antonio has been charged with felony abandonment after her adult son, who uses a wheelchair and has multiple disabilities, was found living alone in an apartment complex laundry room just days before an eviction. According to police, the man was left without care or resources in a northwest side apartment complex, relying on limited shelter in the building's laundry facility. Investigators alleged that he had been abandoned by his mother shortly before they were evicted from the unit they shared. The man, identified by authorities as Adam Gutierrez, has cerebral palsy and severe scoliosis and uses a wheelchair for mobility. Following the incident, his mother, Pamela Gutierrez, was charged with abandonment of a disabled individual, a felony offense under Texas law. Legal proceedings are ongoing. Officials said the case raises concerns about the safety and welfare of disabled individuals during housing emergencies, especially when caregivers are unable or unwilling to provide continued support. Adam Gutierrez has since enrolled at Texas A&M University San Antonio, where he plans to study kinesiology. He has not required hospitalization, according to officials, and has secured temporary support while he pursues higher education. Bill Gates announced on Thursday that he will donate 99% of his remaining wealth, estimated at $107 billion, to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The foundation, which was initially scheduled to close 20 years after Gates' death, will now wind down operations by 2045. Gates' donation will provide the foundation with an additional $200 billion over the next 50 years. This funding will support the foundation's ongoing work in global health and education, areas where it has already spent around $100 million since its establishment in 2000. The Gates Foundation has focused on reducing childhood mortality, eradicating polio, combating malaria, and addressing malnutrition. Gates has committed to remaining involved with the foundation during its final years to oversee the use of these funds. Gates' donation aligns with his involvement in the Giving Pledge, an initiative he co-founded with Warren Buffett, where billionaires pledge to donate the majority of their wealth during their lifetimes. The Trump administration is preparing to deport undocumented immigrants to Libya using a U.S. Air Force C-17 plane, according to an administration official. Flight tracking data shows the aircraft has filed a flight plan from San Antonio, Texas to Misrata Airport in Libya, although the specific timing of the flight remains unclear. Libya's detention centers, which have been the subject of numerous human rights reports, are known for overcrowding and lack of essential resources. Human rights organizations have condemned the conditions, citing concerns over the safety and well-being of migrants sent to these facilities. The Trump administration's use of military aircraft for deportation purposes signals a continued focus on strict immigration enforcement, while also raising questions about the impact of such policies on the international community. Vice President Sara Duterte on Friday appeared before Department of Justice or DOJ prosecutors in Manila, Philippines. Duterte submitted her response to a case filed by the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI. The case involves a threat to the lives of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Duterte faces a complaint for inciting to sedition and grave threats. The allegations stem from a live-stream press conference. During the conference, Duterte mentioned having hired someone to kill the aforementioned officials in case she would be killed. The NBI previously filed a criminal case against Duterte concerning these statements. Pope Leo XIV, formerly Robert Francis Prevost, held his first Mass as Pontiff at the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican on May 9. The event marked his initial public address following his election on May 8. During the Mass, Pope Leo XIV emphasized the Church's role in addressing declining faith and called for renewed spiritual engagement. He cautioned against reliance on technology, power, and money as sources of security, advocating instead for trust in faith. The Pope called for a church focus on peace, unity, and dialogue. He urged cardinals to adopt humility and prioritize missionary outreach to underserved communities. Pope Leo XIV, the first American elected to the papacy, has ties to the United States and Peru, where he previously served in missionary roles. During the Mass, women were selected to read scripture. The decision reflects Pope Leo XIV's support for increasing women's roles in the Church. He also addressed institutional challenges, including restoring trust, managing internal divisions, and responding to issues such as abuse and financial accountability. His formal installation is scheduled for May 18, followed by his first general audience on May 21. Global leaders have acknowledged his election, with attention to his approach to church reform, immigration, diplomacy. The Philippine Nurses Association of Metro Houston, or PNOM, marked its 45th anniversary with a grand celebration that honored the dedication, leadership, and excellence of Filipino nurses across the greater Houston area. Consul General Gunther Salas joined PNOM President Jonathan Giacomo and members of the association at the milestone event, which served as both a tribute to the legacy of Filipino nurses and a celebration of their virtual or vital contributions to the healthcare community. In his keynote remarks, Consul General Salas reaffirmed the Philippine Consulate's unwavering support for the Filipino nursing community, emphasizing initiatives that promote recognition, collaboration, and the continued growth of Filipino healthcare professionals in the United States. The event also spotlighted outstanding Filipino nurses are recognized for their leadership, clinical excellence, and community service. In addition, the PNOM Foundation honored its scholarship recipients, future leaders in nursing who embody the values and promise of the profession, both in the U.S. and the Philippines. The celebration was co-hosted by PNOM past President Aliza Espinosa and incoming President Alex Sardual, underscoring the organization's enduring commitment to excellence and community engagement. Harris County Commissioner Leslie Briones presented a resolution declaring the month of May as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander, or ANP, Heritage Month during a Commissioner's Court session on May 8. The resolution acknowledges the cultural contributions and history of the ANP community in the county. Commissioner Briones noted the presence of more than 100,000 ANP residents in Precinct 4. Attorney Eileen Ligat-Dizon, State President of the Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce of Texas, accepted the resolution on behalf of Filipino Americans and the Chamber. She was joined by Patsy Yoon Brown of the Japan American Society of Houston and Mai Lee of the Korean American Society of Houston. Speakers addressed the community's contributions and challenges. The resolution affirmed the county's commitment to inclusion and equity. County officials stated the resolution supports ongoing efforts to engage and represent all communities.
Item 11. And this is to recognize May 2025 as the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Month, AANHPI. Today we have 3 speakers, to the best of my knowledge, who have signed up to speak. Patsy Brown, the Executive Director of the Japanese American Society of Houston. We have Tan Lee, Board Chair of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association. And we have Eileen Dizon, State President of the Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Patsy Brown, Executive Director of the Japan-America Society of Houston, and it is an honor to accept this resolution in commemoration of the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month on behalf of the Japanese community, as well as the Greater Houston Asian Pacific American community.
Good morning. My name is Tan Lee, and I am the board chair of the Vietnamese Culture and Science Association, along with my board member over here, Miley, with us. Thank you so much for recognizing the celebration of the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander.
Good morning, members of the court. Good morning, everyone. My name is Eileen Ligatizon. I'm a managing partner at Ligatizon Law Firm, and I'm also the state president of the Filipino-American Chamber of Commerce of Texas, which is a state chamber with 5 regional chambers. Now, this month, we are celebrating Asian American and Native Hawaii Pacific Islanders community. We are celebrating our rich histories, cultures, and of course the incredible contributions of our community. And thank you for this resolution, and thank you for joining us in this celebration.
Golden State Warriors player Stephen Curry will miss several games due to a grade 1 hamstring strain affecting the team's Western Conference semifinal series. Curry sustained the injury during Game 1 against Minnesota Timberwolves. He participated in a game day shoot-around practice in Minneapolis on Thursday, where he initially claimed to be feeling great, but later clarified that it was a sarcastic remark. Curry's injury kept him out of most of the first game of the series, and the Warriors expect him to be sidelined for at least a week as he recovers. Medical staff are closely monitoring his condition to determine when he can safely return to play. Curry's absence presents a challenge for the Warriors, who continue to prepare for the next games without his participation. The team remains focused on adapting their strategy while Curry follows medical guidance for his recovery. Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao, or Manny Pacman Pacquiao, is coming out of retirement to challenge Mario Barrios for the WBC World Welterweight title on July 19 in Las Vegas, Nevada. The fight was confirmed earlier this month by WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman during an event in Saudi Arabia. The 46-year-old Pacquiao, who has not fought since his 2019 loss to Yordenis Ugas, is also running for a seat in the Philippine Senate in the upcoming May 12 elections. Pacquiao's return to the ring comes after his retirement announcement following the Ugas bout, where he lost by unanimous decision. The match will pit Pacquiao against the 29-year-old Barrios, a Mexican-American boxer and current WBC welterweight champion. The Universal Women pageant has postponed its Indian staging due to tensions between India and Pakistan. The event, which was set to take place in Jaipur, India, was delayed after India launched a missile strike on May 6, 2025, targeting a Pakistani-controlled area in the Kashmir region. As a result, Pakistani airspace was closed, leading to flight cancellations and rerouting. The Miss World pageant will proceed as planned in Telangana, India. The decision to continue with Miss World contrasts with the Universal Women pageant's postponement. Organizers of the Universal Women pageant did not provide a new date for the event, citing safety concerns for participants and attendees. Maria Gigante, the reigning title holder, the two Filipino women were also expected to compete, are among those affected by the delay. Miss World organizers have expressed confidence in the safety measures in place in Telangana, which remains unaffected by the recent military action. Atisa Manalo, the newly crowned Miss Universe Philippines 2025, shared her thoughts on relationships during her appearance on Fast Talk with Boy Abunda on Wednesday, March 7. Manalo confirmed that she is currently single and emphasized that potential suitors need to demonstrate their value if they wish to date her. During the interview, Manalo made it clear that her past relationship or individuals linked to her are not relevant in her current dating life. She noted that while she is open to the idea of dating, she expects suitors to prove their worth, setting clear standards for what she seeks in a partner. Manalo's comments following her recent success in the Miss Universe Philippines pageant reflect her commitment to both personal and professional growth. She addressed various topics during her appearance, showcasing her independence and focus on self-worth. As we brace ourselves for the upcoming weather changes, let's dive into what you can expect day by day. Whether you are planning outdoor activities or just preparing for the week, we've got you covered with the most accurate forecast. Stay tuned with us as we take a closer look at the weather patterns that will impact our region. Remember, here at Lawin Weekly News, we bring you the clearest skies to the stormiest forecasts.
Here is your Lawin Weekly News weather forecast in Houston, Texas. On May 11th, Sunday, the highest temperature is 71 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect intervals of clouds and sunshine with a thundershower. On May 12th, Monday, the highest temperature is 85 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Anticipate partly sunny and warmer conditions. On May 13th, Tuesday, the highest temperature is 92 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. The day will be sunny, breezy, and warm, potentially breaking the record of 91 degrees Fahrenheit set in 2011. On May 14th, Wednesday, the highest temperature is 94 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect mostly sunny, breezy, and very warm conditions, possibly surpassing the record of 94 degrees Fahrenheit set in 1961. On May 15th, Thursday, the highest temperature is 92 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Anticipate breezy and very warm weather with increasing cloudiness. On May 16th, Friday, the highest temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect warm conditions with a shower in the area in the morning, then times of sun and clouds in the afternoon. On May 17th, Saturday, the highest temperature is 92 degrees Fahrenheit with a low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. The day will have low clouds and very warm temperatures.
So those were the latest stories in Texas this week. I am Nesca Santina from Lawin Media Network. Have a great day.
Lawin Weekly News.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Lawin Weekly News.